I am Karan Bhatia. I am joined by Cosmo's Glam Squad's Donato Crowley and Cosmo Lombino. So thank you guys so much for joining me. And my show, we probably have a lot of boxing fans who may not be familiar with what you guys do. So could you just introduce yourselves and tell us a little bit about what you do?
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I have a clothing store in Melrose. I've been in the clothing store for I've been on Melrose for 30 years. And I've had this clothing store for 11 years. And it's called Cosmos Glam Squad. And we are image consultants. We create images for rappers, singers, all the upcoming artists. And we've worked with artists like NSYNC and from back in the day and all the way up to now the fight world, the sports world, that actually are performers and they want to look like rappers and they want to look like artists, and Deontay is one of them. So it was a big opportunity. Deontay's wife came in the store, Telly, she's absolutely beautiful. And she was shopping and she says in passing, my fiance Deontay is a fighter and he wears a mask. So me and Donato were like,
By the way, I'm Donato Crowley. I'm his partner as well. We have a label called Cosmo and Donato together.
Yeah, it's called CD.
Yeah,
yes.
CD.
Yes. So anyway, in passing, and she goes, you want to see the outfit? So we looked at the outfit and we're like, she goes, you think you guys could do something like that? And I'm like, I looked at Donato because the mask was really cool, but it kind of looked like this party city.
Yeah,
mask.
It was like a mask. It had some spikes in it, and it was cool. And if you've ever seen, everybody's seen what we've done now. We do really over the top pieces, and we create them all ourselves, handcrafted. I think every one of Deontay's costumes was leather and studs.
Yeah,
hand sewn, hand created.
Yeah.
We have an entire team that does it.
Yeah.
This particular costume.
We actually been making these masks for Burning Man. People come from all over the world, and they're specialty. My store is very specialty, one of a kind. It's like an art museum meets Studio 54. It's an experience. But so anyway, she says, you think you guys could do something for my man? And then we're like, oh, can we? And I showed her a little bit of how we get down.
Yeah.
And before you know it, we're making Deontay his outfit. And what fight was that?
That was Brazil, the first one.
Brazil.
Fury was the first one, then Brazil.
Yes.
Yeah, then Ortiz, and then Fury.
And that was the month of the last episode of Game of Thrones. So we were really inspired. Yeah. Because Deontay, when we met him, he's like a supermodel. He's absolutely gorgeous, and he wanted to be this war god, this warlord, and we're like, oh my God, we have to create something so epic for him. So that's when we made the first outfit. And
actually, on that outfit, he really had just seen a moto piece that we had done that was all crystallized. It was a moto piece. And he put it on. He goes, oh, this is what I want to wear for my ring walk. And we're like, it's great, but let us add to it. You know, let us add a little weight to it. Just kidding. Too soon, right?
well, that's what I wanted to ask you about. So obviously, Deontay has looked great on these ring walks recently. You could totally see the Game of Thrones. You could see the excellence, the work that went into it. And he fought Tyson Fury last Saturday. He ends up losing. And then he came out with some excuses. And he said part of the reason he didn't perform well is because his suit weighed him down early in the fight and his legs were gone. So I'm just curious, when you guys first heard that excuse from Deontay Wilder, what was going through your head?
It was kind of a shock, honestly, and it was kind of very it was heart-wrenching. Oh my God.
It didn't sound like Deontay to me.
It didn't sound like Deontay.
That doesn't sound like
because I know that Deontay would never throw us under the bus because I know he absolutely loved the outfit and the fitting, and it didn't sound like it really came from Deontay. So we didn't believe it, but we were on pins and needles all day because we were trying to call Deontay, but actually he was busy recovering. Yeah. So that night before we went to bed, we got FaceTime and it was Deontay. And it was guys, things get twisted in the media. I love you guys so much. You guys are family, and we love Deontay. We got to know him and his wife and his kids. And, we got really close like family, So it was so reassuring to hear him, FaceTime like you and I right now, saying I love you guys and just get ready for the other fight. I'm taking you guys to the top with me and get ready for the next fight with Fury.
But he did acknowledge the weight of the costume. He did acknowledge that, and we actually listened to him in that, and we're like, listen, going forward, we know that we need to make adjustments in that because, he had to wear that costume for a lot longer than anticipated during that ring walk. Normally, it's a 5-minute ring walk. For that, it's not a problem, but because of the way the timing went in the back.
But he was in it a while before.
Right.
So I could see the weight, you know what I mean? Maybe contributing to it. I understand, But he clarified everything with us. And next time we're going to make the outfit in Scott tissue.
Well, that's probably a smart plan. So when he says 40 to 45 pounds, do you think that's accurate? And why does it weigh that much? He mentioned batteries because obviously it had the lights in the eyes. Is that how much it weighed, and why does it weigh that much?
That's something that's really interesting. So
we didn't actually weigh it though. I wish he was here with us right now because I would just drop it on a scale right now.
Yeah.
But we didn't actually weigh it. So basically, it's the same components as the other outfits. Basically, all made in leather, all crystals. But the wiring did add a little weight, and the battery packs did add some weight. So I could see it being,
So those battery packs also weren't just for LED lights. They weren't just for the lighting like that. What they didn't get to see, somebody at the arena dropped the ball.
Really?
And when we had asked for it, we were very clear and went over it many times. We said, no fog machines, no lasers. So they had fog machines there. We asked for a blackout right at the end of the song so that he could have a moment. And with the whole stadium comes through and the lasers go on. There were lasers coming out of the crown that would have touched the ceiling in the stadium.
So you guys didn't see the
and
full
lasers
effect.
Coming out of his arm pieces here. So had you seen what really was that moment was incredibly iconic, and that's where the extra weight was from these lasers and battery packs. But
But you guys didn't get to see that because they dropped the ball in the end.
The fog machines just went straight in the air.
They went in the air.
They didn't even gather fog.
So it would have been even more of a moment. But the good thing is that the costume did look amazing and him walking out. But the sad thing is that you guys didn't get the full effect. There was much more.
No, it absolutely looked unbelievable. It was one of the best outfits I've ever seen in a ring walk, and I've been covering boxing for a long time. So he said that the first time he tried it on was 15 or 20 minutes before the fight. Had he tried it on in your store? Had he seen it before? Or was that the first time he got it?
He stated, I've seen articles where he actually stated that he actually did have a fitting the day before. So
okay.
I'm not sure where you're getting your information, but he did state that he did do a fitting the day before. And then again, he had to wear it right before the fight, obviously. So, yeah. But listen, I do want to talk about that moment, that ring walk moment. I think it's really important to mention the gravity and the iconicness of that ring walk.
Yes.
With the whole Black History Month and walking in front of every one of those figures that have represented the fight for Black equality, and to have him walk in this costume and this, it is considered the best ring walk moment in history at this moment, and it's unfortunate that he lost, and we'll make sure that whatever we have to do to adjust ourselves going forward for the next one, that we're going to make sure that he wins, but I do want to talk about that moment because it was incredible.
Or the outfit wins.
Well, that was my next question. So he came to you and he said, I want to do something special for Black history, because in the past we've seen the gold mask and the nice gold outfits. This was different. So what was the significance for Black History Month that was his vision, and how did you guys bring it to reality?
Well, actually, he trusts us with what we come up with because of the last 3 outfits that we made him. So basically,
all black. He wanted all black.
He wanted all black, of course, for
solid
Black History Month. So we went over it with him. But when we presented the outfit to him, it was a complete aha moment. Deontay lit up, and he loves, it was like a kid in the candy store, and he really loves, wearing this costume.
And we didn't tell them about the lasers or the lights yet. We were just like, oh, so what do you think of the costume? And they went crazy over it, and they were like, but there's a little bit more to it.
So we said, hit the lights, and then we
showed him
had a remote control. and then the neon lights came
Lasers.
out. The lasers came out of the outfit, and we were just all floored and blown away. You know, we were so happy that everything. You know,
it's pretty cool if you get to see the video of it.
Yeah.
Like it's like wow, like it's impressive. So,
Yeah.
And
but that is where the extra weight came from for sure. You know the
no,
battery pack.
that makes sense. Did you watch the fight, and what were your thoughts as you were watching the fight itself?
I was mortified. I was mortified. I never thought that he was going to lose. You know, you always think that, you know, he's going to win, you know, with that winning streak. So watching the fight was heart-wrenching, you know, and from the first round, you know, and I just had a bad vibe. And I just like, and then it just kind of got worse and worse and worse. And I couldn't like even look. You know, it was really devastating. So it was heartbreaking for like everybody.
For me, when I was watching it, I was like, that's not Deontay. Honestly, I was like that. I've never seen Deontay look like that ever. I mean, something was up. You know what I mean? Something was up with him because that's not Deontay. He is one of the strongest, and you know, he's a king. He's an icon, like
and confident. And you know, every
confident.
fight that we dressed him for, he always had this confident, and everything was like light.
Right.
You know, it was just really light, and he was just like, you know, happy, you know, just to get in there and get it done. You know, and this fight, there was different vibes. You know, it didn't look like him at all. You know, and
a loss for him is a loss for us too, because you know we always knew that going into this, that you can't walk into the ring like that, and if you lose, it's going to be a heavy hit for him. It's going to be a heavy hit for, you know, what we did as well. You know, and so we represent Deontay. We represent his vision. We're going to continue to do that as we go forward, and we're going to make some adjustments, and the world is going to be excited to see what we do next.
And do you think now that we've had a couple days since the fight, and we've had some time to digest everything that happened, do you think the reason he wasn't himself was just because of the suit? Do you think there was other things going on? What if you had to just take a guess at the overall reasoning why he wasn't able to perform at his top level?
I think you'll have to ask Deontay that question. You know, I really do, because I mean, we just tell you what we saw there, and what we saw, you know, was that he looked great, you know, but we did see an energy thing with him was a little bit different.
It was a different energy this time for sure.
But this was a lot on the line, so I get that. You know, there was intensity and a direction in his walk in the dressing room, and like, but we knew that this is that moment that he was going to surpass Muhammad Ali.
Yeah. So there was a big expectation involved, you know, and I know there was a lot of pressure because I felt it. Like you could cut it with a knife.
And then also representing all those black icons as you're walking by each and every one of them. There was a lot of weight on this fight, you know. So,
but we're definitely team Deontay. You know, we are team Deontay, and you know, he is a great guy. You know, and you really can't win them all. You know, and as far as I'm concerned, you know, he won 40 fights. You know,
right.
This guy is like amazing. You know, he's got that knockout punch like no other. And you know, we are team Deontay. He's family, and he's a great guy. And like I said, you know, I really don't listen to everything on the media. And thank God we got that phone call from him, you know, so we could actually, we actually slept really good that night.
And we're going to get that belt back. We're going to do whatever we can to get that belt back, you know, like that's for sure.
And now we're preparing for hopefully the trilogy fight with Fury, which is going to be another massive event. And I know you guys said that Deontay called you guys and he wants to work with you again. So can you clue us in on what the next outfit may look like? Have those discussions even happened yet?
We can't talk about that right now.
We can't talk about that right now.
But just, you better stay very prepared and tuned into it, because it's going to be epic, just like this fight's going to be epic.
And safe to say the next outfit will be a little lighter than this one, though.
Like I said, scar tissue.
Well, I want to thank you guys so much for the time. And just last thing, could you tell people where they can find you if they want to work with you and if they want to see all the great work you're doing?
By the way, after the fight, Clarissa Shields came up to us and she's like, "Oh my God, could you make me another outfit? Because we made it for her last fight. She's friends with Deontay." So we saw her walking out of the fight, and I'm like, "Are you devastated?" She goes, "Devastated." She goes, "That outfit was so sick." She's like, "Can you make me one?" And we're like, "Oh, hell yeah." So she's going to be fighting. We're going to be coming up with something for Clarissa. And then we also got Shaquille O'Neal. We made something for him. You know, Deontay gave him our number. So actually, this is all absolutely like wonderful for us. It really is, and we have a lot of gratitude. I want to thank Deontay,
Yeah, and Tully.
and Telly.
Definitely, most definitely. Yeah. And you can find us at 7367 Melrose Avenue, Los Angeles 90046. We have 2 Instagrams, which is at Cosmos Glam Squad, Cosmos with an S, and at Cosmo and Donato. And you can follow us there and keeping on the journey of what we're creating. We're going to be showing you as we go along this process, and we have some really cool things lined up, even with Deontay, that are pretty amazing. So
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I am definitely looking forward to see what you come up with next. Looking forward to the next Deontay Wilder ring walk. Thank you so much for the time and giving us your perspective of the events. Very much appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.